for May 6, 2026. This meeting is being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et sec. Notice has been forwarded to the New Jersey Herald. It was posted on the bulletin board maintained in the municipal building and was noticed on the borough website. Roll call.
Mr. Bongiovanni.
Here.
Mr. Falcone.
Present.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Kuskovic.
Here.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Here.
Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Mayor Glatte.
Here. Thank you. If you will all stand and join me in a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you'll just remain standing with a moment of silence for our service members that are in harm's way. Thank you. Moving along, we don't have any proclamations this evening. So moving on to committee reports. I just want to remind everybody that the block party, the Lake Hopatcong Foundation Block Party, is May 16th at 10 a.m. at the State Park. If you're not attending, it's something that you should also be aware of because the traffic in the area is overwhelming in the area, and you usually can't park in the parking lot. So if you are attending, just make sure that you make arrangements to park in a safe place and be careful if you are walking on the road. We also, this past Saturday had a very successful shred event. I'm going to let Jonathan talk more about that. But we also had the community cleanup that day. Unfortunately, the rain did not allow us to get very large pieces of garbage. But we did have a lot of residents that came out, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, members of the community who wanted to see Hopatcong cleaned up. We also gave out tree saplings that day. I don't know the numbers on that, but I know Jonathan does. The one thing that was so impressive about the shred event, I've been doing the shred day for several years. The one thing that was so impressive is we were set up at the entrance over here, and the line for the shred went absolutely across the entire parking lot, out onto Sharp Ave, and then out onto River Styx to the traffic light Hopatcong. It was amazing. So thank you to the Environmental Commission and Open Space for standing in the rain while we emptied out everybody's cars with their papers and their bags and all of those other wonderful things. And I do want to thank DPW because there were a lot of leftover boxes that day from people dumping their papers, and they left the boxes behind. So we probably had well over 150 boxes that were left behind. So thank you to them also. And I really do want to say thank you to Cliff London. Since he's been on the Environmental Commission, he's been able to do a lot of different things with the group in itself. But this event was very successful, and I know the next few that we're going to do with him are going to be just as good. I have the pleasure of belonging to an organization within Sussex County called the Center for Prevention and Counseling. They were a sponsor for an event in which Hopatcong Youth Leadership was involved. They had a youth leadership town hall celebration, which consisted of students from K through 12. They participated and received certificates and acknowledgements for their positive impact. We had students that were recognized for what their anti-drug was and what makes you happy. We also had an alcohol awareness contest, and through artwork and written entries, these young people represent the very best of Hopatcong. We also had 3 of our students from the high school recognized and acknowledged with a feature on a billboard that's going to be erected during the month of May through June during the prom season and graduation. It's going to be located in Stanhope. I haven't seen it yet, but looking forward to it. I do want to add all of the students from Sussex County that participated in that contest, our students were chosen, and there were over 500 applicants, I believe they had said. I do want to say thank you to Municipal Alliance, the coalition members, the guidance counselors, teachers, and administration who made the evening possible. The positive tickets that were given out throughout the schools that the Hopatcong resource officers gave to the students, and then they were all awarded again with the certifications. So I do want to remind everybody that this Saturday is the reenactment of the very first Borough Council meeting. We have a script that we've written, and we're looking forward to it. Cliff London, again, has prepared a slide presentation for everyone. So everyone is invited. It's here in this room at 10 a.m. And I know it's going to be a fun thing. It's our first America 250 event that we're doing. So if you're available, please come. I do want to remind everybody that starting July 20th, they're going to be doing a new state e-bike law. I anticipate our police department is going to be rolling out and getting the information out to the public so that everyone is aware of the new changes. I do want to say congratulations to our HOPAC on CERT. They do have a new addition to their group. Patrick is from HOPAC on. He's had over 25 years of doing search and rescue missions with canines, and the other members, Bob and Mary. They have over 15 years of going on search and rescue missions with their canines. And Penny Sullivan, who is a 50-year participation and started search and rescue in the United States. They trained to do a very high standard for both the dogs that they trained for wilderness search, crime search, water search, collapsed building search. These members get called by local and state places like parks, prosecutor's office, police departments. It is all volunteer, and I think it would be a great asset to the entire Sussex County community for us to have this. These members are the new addition to the HOPAC on CERT team, and HOPAC on CERT will be known moving forward as HOPAC on CERT HOPAC on CERT Search and Rescue Dogs. We're hoping that Patrick and CERT is going to come to a future meeting so that we can see Patrick and the dogs in action. We're always excited for CERT. They do wonderful things for our community. They're always looking for new members. If anyone is available on Thursday nights to stop by and see one of their meetings, it will be a very positive thing. I know Patrick is here in the audience. I can see him here. So Patrick, we welcome you and your search and rescue dogs. It is going to be a fabulous addition to our HOPAC on CERT team. So thank you. And we are hoping you bring the dogs back. I do want to announce that we have our first mobile DMV for 2026 is going to be on Friday, May 15th. Starts at 10 a.m. It is here at this building, and the online appointments open today at 3 p.m. So if you do need a mobile appointment, you're going to have to go online to do that. You cannot just walk up to the DMV. You have to make the appointments ahead of time. So we're hoping to have future DMV appointments, but we're not aware if we're going to get the ones that we requested. So that was all I had for an update. Steve?
So yeah.
That's all I had, yeah.
So anyway, last Friday, May 1st, was Sussex County had a memorial service for Henry Sardina III, the line of duty death that HOPAC on had. It was a really nice event. Rachel, yourself attended it. And I think Rachel, I don't want to steal your thunder, but I think she also went down to Emmitsburg, Maryland on Sunday, which they had a nice service down there. And the rest of the committee, we didn't really have any report on the so.
Okay, Jonathan?
The dread event, like Marie said, was on Saturday. There was pouring rain as usual. I want to thank Allison for the signs because that's what brought a lot of people in. She designed the signs and had them printed. We didn't get a tonnage amount, but I'll tell you, I've been doing it 7 years. And usually you can see if you go up to it, you'll see the camera. It'll show you how much is in the truck. In the past years, I don't think the truck was ever filled past half. It was over 3/4 full this time. So we didn't get a tonnage amount, but I'll tell you what, it was a lot. So that was very good. The cleanup didn't go as well as we thought. We're gonna see if the dumpster is still available. If it is, people can bring their stuff. If you want to clean up your street, you can bring the stuff over to DPW and throw it in a dumpster. But we'll try to put something online and let you know if the dumpster is still there and if it's full. Other than that, that's the only reports I have.
Thank you. Jennifer?
For Alliance, the Mother's Day Candy Bar Bingo and Movie Night was held on Friday, May 1st. We showed Freakier Friday and had about 25 people in attendance. With Project Graduation, Candy Bingo had about 35 participants and raised $383. It was a lot of fun, and I recommend to everyone that they attend next time. Candy Bar Bingo is really a lot of fun. I won a lot of candy. I attended the Alcohol Awareness Town Hall meeting hosted by the county and the Center for Prevention and Counseling on April 27th with Rachel, where our children were awarded their positive ticket recipients, the contest participants, and our billboard participants. I wanted to congratulate all of those who participated and continue to be drug-free, and to thank the CPC for inviting us. The Alliance will be hosting a health and a wellness bingo for our seniors in May. For the Elks update, the Leap in the Lake raised $120,000. On June 21st from 9 to 11 a.m., the Elks will be hosting a fishing contest at Lakeside Park in Netcong. Admission is free. Anybody over 16 needs to have a fishing license. The next Alliance will be May 18th at 6 p.m. in Borough Hall. For the school, the Drama Club put on Mamma Mia from between April 16th and 19th. Everyone involved did an amazing job. Our drama program is really top notch. The Tricky Tray, hosted by the PTSO back in March, raised $38,000, which will be distributed between Project Graduation, the other 3 classes, and various activities hosted by the school. The marching band is hosting a car wash on May 17th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Lakeside Tire on Lakeside Boulevard. The school continues to raise funds for the new gym floor, which has not been maintained since the gym was opened in 1995. If you're interested in donating, please email the super, jhallenbeck@hopakonschools.org. High school final schedules were sent out today for the beginning of June. It did increase and the increase in the state health benefit plan. They also cut another administrative position and are down to 6 administrators, 4 principals, 1 superintendent, who's also the BA, 1 assistant superintendent who acts as the curriculum developer, and also the special services director of special services. Their next meeting is May 18th at 7 p.m. at the administration building. The ordinance committee has not met. Hopefully we can get one scheduled soon. One of the ordinances that I'd like I'd like to discuss with the committee involves AI data centers. Through NJPO trainings, it's clear that we need to be proactive in defining data centers in our land use ordinance, regardless of whether we intend to permit them or prohibit them. This will need to include whether they are permitted, conditional uses, or require a use variance, and whether they align with the master plan goals around economic development, sustainability, and industrial land use. For the ambulance department, they ended April with 75 calls. The average time from dispatch to scene arrival was 6.5 minutes, far exceeding the state good time of 15 minutes. 68% of the calls were transported. 10% of those patients had no insurance. There were significant ambulance repair and maintenance costs in April, around $12,000 due to air ride replacement, new tires, and brakes. They have 1 ambulance with an engine issue that is still being investigated. In June, the ambulance squad will be celebrating 80 years of providing emergency medical services to Hopakon. They're looking for old pictures, articles, memorabilia. Please send them to contact@hopakonems.org. Donations are greatly appreciated. Their next meeting is Tuesday, May 19th at 7:30 p.m. at the ambulance department, and they're always looking for volunteers. I wanted to thank the rec department and commission for hosting a very fun bingo night on April 24th. Ula and Cheryl always make it so much fun. This Sunday is Mother's Day. I'd like to wish all of those who are or who have ever been mothers a very relaxing and fun weekend. Being a mother is the most wonderful and heartbreaking job that a woman will ever have. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe?
No committee reports from me, Mayor.
Thank you. Anthony?
On the finance side, the white collar and blue collar negotiations continue as the Tappan is working hard at that. Hopefully we'll have that settled potentially by the next meeting. In addition, on the health insurance, some good news associated with that Mr. Tappan's been able to negotiate some savings there. So it will affect us in a positive way in 2026, but it'll really make an impact for us for 2027 because that's how the contract runs from July to July. So that's really good. And additionally, on the real estate side too, is a second reading of an ordinance for no sale of property today. So that continues to move forward, which is really good in terms of bringing in additional revenue into the town and getting more properties on the tax roll. So that is my report.
Good. Thank you. Rachel?
I wanted to start off by congratulating Patrolman Rivera for graduating from the Passaic County Police Academy. So we wish him luck. And I always joke with the new patrolmen who aren't from here to use their GPSs because you can get very easily lost in the hills. I still use my GPS here. But anyway, and as Steve said, there were several memorial events that were held this weekend for Captain Henry Sardina. I was able to bring an additional book back for the borough. If we can, I don't know if we have room in the display case to put it up from Emmitsburg. Everybody who attended was given a book of the 204 heroes who were added to the memorial wall. So I was able to grab one to bring back, but the Hopakon Fire Department was there in addition to Captain Henry Sardina's family. It was a beautiful event. The Sussex County Division of Health has their May newsletter out, and the topics covered in this month's edition are bears, mosquito safety, mental health awareness, tick prevention, and Women's Health Month. That's easily accessible on the website. We do have it up in the hallway right outside council chambers if you want to take a look at it. For the ordinance committee, as Jen had said, we haven't met yet, but I did actually send an email to Ron today requesting if we can kick back up the discussion on the septic ordinance pumping. I know we've been trying to get that rolling. So we'll get an update on that. And then the last thing for ordinance I have, I wanted to discuss the idea of a new ordinance, but I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to bring it up later in the meeting under new business so we can get council consensus on that if we want to add it as a discussion item for the next agenda. And happy Mother's Day to all who celebrate. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to the administrator's report, Ron.
Just a real quick LoSAP update. The back of it seems like years ago, but it was just a month ago or so. The council approved to pay the interest for the LoSAP members that we were delayed in paying. So that's being calculated as we speak, and we're looking to have that on for the first meeting for June to approve by the council. Back to the budget. I know we have the first reading by title only on the budget, and we also have the first reading of the ordinance of the annual cap bank that we have to do in compliance with state finance laws. I just want to let the borough know that the council know that the borough, even though this budget is nothing that we all like, by no means, we are in good fiscal health, if you will. Our debt ratio is at 0.214, which is immaculately low compared to what the standards are. Our bond ratings are good at a AA+, and our fund balance is at 25%, which is it's where you really want to be. You don't want to be any more than that, and you try not to go any lower than 20%. So we're in a healthy state when it comes to that. Lastly, and the good news is I don't have numbers for you as of yet, but I will after the enrollment is done. We were successful in negotiating with Cigna. We are officially getting out of the state healthcare plan. That is effective July the 1st. Cigna has given us a very good proposal for all our members to meet the eligibilities of the programs that we have to meet. There are significant savings. What the councilman was trying to say, our benefit plan contract runs from July to July. So we'll see 50% or 6 months worth of that savings this year and line us up for good savings for the balance of next year into July to where we can renegotiate again, even better plans or other options, or if our claims come in as good as they were in our application, then maybe we'll see a savings or a very small increase. And that's a good thing for healthcare. So open enrollment is this month. We will start open enrollment next week. For all the employees to go into all 3 unions were unanimously willing to join that. We had really no real issues just to get everybody on the same page. So open enrollment will be May. Gives us June to make sure everything's just right and that all the applications are good and we got all the data right, all the transfer and electronic stuff is all set up. We'll test that, and then July 1st we go live.
Is there a way that the school could get in on that with us? Would that make it better or easier for us to negotiate with Cigna if we had a bigger pool?
It depends on the claims. We can go into benefit negotiations and it'll take us all night, but everything about benefit costs is about the claims.
Right.
It's all about claims. The better your claims, it's just like your auto insurance. You're a good driver, you get better claims, right? So if people utilizing the plan and you got extraordinary claims, it's very hard to negotiate that. In pure numbers, more is better. If we were a small group, it's hard for us to be on the open market. We don't have a lot of employees, but yes, the answer is yes. If we could do that and the claims or meet that, we could certainly consider that. But that would be up to the school to contact us and start that negotiation with our broker.
Thank you.
But at that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? The meeting is open to the public for any comments. Just need to come forward. Not seeing anything, motion to bring it back.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions. Moving on to the approval of minutes. Approval of the April 13th, 2026 regular budget minutes, all eligible.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
My apologies, which section are we on?
Minutes.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Approval of the April 15th, 2026 regular and executive session minutes.
Motion.
Second.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Abstain.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to the correspondence reminder, we're just reminding everyone that the meeting for May 20th has been moved to May 13th. And moving on to the consent agenda.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to take the ordinance 2026-105 and put aside from the consent agenda.
To put it aside, to table it?
Yes.
Okay,
Second.
To table it?
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I'll make a motion, any second, so.
Making a motion to table. Can we have a discussion?
Joe second.
yeah, there's a
You
second
got it.
for you, in our discussion, there's a second.
Can I also make a motion to remove 2026-104 and put it on the regular agenda?
Second.
Well,
Yeah, let's,
motion and
yeah,
second.
motion and second, so let's.
We gotta
do
do
the
the
first
first
one and
one.
then-
Sorry,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
apologize.
So-
My bad.
No problem.
Okay, so motion for 2026-105 to table, we have a motion and a second, roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second to move resolution 2026-104 to the regular resolutions. We have a
Second.
motion and a we have a motion and a second,
Got it.
so just, that's okay, Joe.
I'm sorry.
And just the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay, so on the consent agenda, we have just the reports, the tax collector's report for March of 2026 and the zoning reports for February, March of 2026. Can I have a motion for the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to resolutions, 2026-104, authorizing the budget to be read by title NJSA 40A 4-8.
Motion. And this was just a quick question. We have to do this first before adopting the final rating, right? This is just,
Yes, ma'am.
So we have a motion and a second, roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
No.
Ms. Johnson.
No.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
no,
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
It's a 3-3.
Yes. Moving along to 2026-106, authorizing the purchase of 3 Genesis 17C-SLI E-Force combi tool for Howell Rescue Systems through Houston Galveston Area Cooperative.
motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Sounds like a transfer.
The roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Moving on to 2026-107, the cancel future taxes on block 30809, lot 25.
Motion.
Second,
Any discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
2026-108, authorizing the refund of water connection fees and water service line fees paid by block 11206, lot 7.
Motion.
Second,
You have a discussion?
Mhm.
Sure. About this. I actually received a phone call about this fee. Being that we've had a moratorium on our water for since November 24th. I wanted to know when this money was received, the $6,300, the check was cashed, and then they've emailed quite a few times about getting it back. And it's only now that they're getting it back. I think that they paid it back it was 6 months ago that they handed in the money, even though there was a moratorium on it. So I wanted to know why we accepted money when there was a moratorium on the water system and why it wasn't refunded back, why it took us 6 months.
I'd have to get that for you.
Okay.
That is-
If we could find that out, that'd be great.
Sure.
Okay, so you have a motion and a second on 2026-108. A roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Moving on to 2026-109, a refund for the construction permit fees on new water connection block 11206 lot 7.
Motion,
Second.
same with this one now. Same
Yeah,
thing.
that's the same thing.
Same, yeah.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-110, authorizing the awarding of a contract to Associated Fire Protection Repair FM 200 system.
Motion.
Second,
Any discussion? The roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-111, appointment of a food service worker.
All motion,
Any
Any
discussion?
discussion? Yes, thank you. Just for our understanding, Ron, this position, are they supposed to be there for the duration of the county program in itself from start to finish?
Mhm.
So-
This is a temporary person as well. This is to fill the gap of an employee that's out and we don't know when they're coming back. They're not on the payroll right now because they're on a different.
Right.
So this is to fill a gap of having more help in there so that we can cover those hours.
Okay. Should the hours be included to align with the county program hours on the resolution, so we know like what hours people should be in the building for? Cause there's seniors in the building 24/7, and I think to know that there's somebody in the building at all times when the building is open.
They're
For
there,
that period. for the
they're
lunch
there for
period.
the lunch period.
they're there 9 to 2.
9 to 2. So
That's-
I
right.
would suggest not restricting that, so that if
Okay.
we need them earlier or later, we're not bound by just blocking them into that schedule.
Uh-huh.
So, I would prefer to leave that out of it,
Okay.
just so that we have some flexibility.
That's fine, but as long as the county program is run.
Yeah.
They should be there.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then should it say temporary on it, the resolution?
Yeah.
So the terms of temporary employment,
It's a stopgap, so. Let's go.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. The roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. 2026-112, approving the hiring of a part-time kennel attendant.
Motion,
Second.
Any discussion? Not hearing any. The roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Moving on to 2026-113, the bill list.
Motion,
Does anybody have any bills that they need to remove?
And I pull 26-00626 for discussion.
I'm sorry, what was it again, John?
26-00626
You're pulling it or for discussion?
for discussion.
Awards citation.
Mhm.
So many uniforms. I'd have to think of it.
What was it,
Just
John?
wanted to
Sorry.
know,
Jen, what was it?
$26,00626.
Thank you.
A lot of sixes and twos. I just wanted to know what we spent almost $1,400 on.
I'll have to look that up. Councilwoman, I would prefer, I wish we'd have asked this before, sometime today. I could have looked it up and had some information for you.
I apologize. That's my bad.
Anyone else?
So we're pulling that one out or we're gonna?
We can't pull anything off the bill list.
Right.
I'll get the information for you.
I don't think Jen needs to pull it. I think that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I mean, just questioning as Wednesday night at 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, so the roll call?
This is pay all the bills. correct?
Yes.
Yes, pay all the
Pay all the
bills.
bills, please.
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
So understandably, if I want to vote no on that one bill, I have to vote no on the whole bills list, then no.
No, I thought you could vote on the rest
Well,
of the bills
obviously we
except that
can't,
one.
well, right, but I can't
Yeah,
pull a
yeah.
bill, so.
No,
Just said.
we can't pull a bill completely off the list, but when you vote, you can say you're voting yes, I'm voting for the entire bill list minus.
Got it, then I'd like to vote no on that
Yes.
bill and yes on the others.
Yes.
It took us like 4 meetings to figure that out.
Bills list.
Okay,
Uh,
moving,
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez,
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
thank you.
Got it.
That was a lot, yeah.
Okay.
No, okay.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on, we have introduction to an ordinance 13-2026 calendar year 2026 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish the cap bank. We need a motion and a second.
Is your 2026 real estate? No, switch it.
2026 is the ordinance to exceed the.
Oh, might be-
It's the cap bank, it's the annual cap bank ordinance.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Mayor, if you don't mind, maybe for the public and myself, if you could explain what this is.
Mike, you want to take that one?
Sure. So every municipality in New Jersey is capped at 2% on appropriations from year to year from last year's budget. So what happens is, as you can imagine, if you didn't have the ability to bank some cap, people would always budget up to the limit, because otherwise, if you came in under that, the next year you would only be able to, that 2% would be less. So what the state allows you to do is, by cap banking, you get an extra 1.5. So if in any given year you come in under the 2%, you can bank that and then use it in subsequent years in case something comes up. So it's to encourage good budget practices.
And how many times can you bank it?
You can do it every year, but it's only good for a certain number of years. I think it's 4 years, 4 years, Judy? 3 years, yeah. And then it expires if you don't use it. But like I said, when you think about it, it makes sense, because people would just always increase by the max because they didn't want to reduce, because they said, well, then we're going to be able to increase it less next year. So that's why the state, in one of its more lucid moments, said, we're going to allow you to bank it if you don't use it all in 1 year, and then you have it if you.
Did we use it this year?
You can use a portion of it, yeah, but you still have cap banking room. Yeah, so every municipality does this pretty much every year. So it's just.
Thank you, Mr. Labor.
Sure.
Very good. So I have a motion and a second
Mhm.
and the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to, we have a final reading of 12-2026, an ordinance of the Borough of Hopatcong, County of Sussex, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of a certain property owned by the borough and not required for public purposes, and more commonly known as Block 10210, Lot 26, 12 Esther Street. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? The meeting is open to the public for this ordinance and this ordinance alone. Is anybody here to make a comment on 12 Esther Street? Not seeing anything. Motion to bring it back?
It is a big
Make-
ordinance.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Okay.
Oh, Mayor,
What's wrong?
I do need to make, God, I didn't catch it in time because we moved it tonight. The auction won't be on May 20th as the ordinance says, it's May 13th.
May 13th.
So if we could maybe redo this and amend it to say May 13th, because that's when the auction will be instead of the 20th, since we moved the meeting at the beginning of.
So you need
Sorry.
us to remove it now?
Yeah, just can
So
we?
make a motion as amended?
Make an amendment to the
Yes.
motion. Who made the motion?
I did.
So if you can make the amendment to the motion to change the date.
Also,
I did. Perfect, all right, cool.
And the roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kukovec.
Yes.
Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to old business, we have cannabis. Ron, do we have any update other than new land use
Cannabis.
cannabis?
Okay, I'm going from selling property to cannabis. Hold on a second. Make it
Notebook.
in your book book. Yeah, the only update I have is that where the first wave of the application to the revision of the master plan is on for the land use board, the next land use board meeting.
May 19th, right?
The next one, yeah. So that's really the only update. As you guys have things that you want to get in that, circulate those to me so that we can get those to Rusky. I mean, it's not mandatory that we have everything because it's going to go through a couple of radiations, but the more we have up front, the better. If you guys can come to terms on cost, offsets, all those things that, you know, make up cannabis ordinances, the more we can get to John, the better, but we don't have to have it for this meeting. This is to get the introduction to it and to get things moving on the revision of the master plan. So
I actually think that his draft ordinance is really nice.
he hit on all the things we thought we
Yeah.
might. So again,
Other
let's
than
see what the land use
setbacks.
boards,
Yeah.
the setbacks and the fees, I think are the only things you need to nail down, but
yeah, that's good.
that's just my opinion.
Well, yeah, but we have to discuss.
Is there
what we're gonna
anything,
put in.
Ron, that you could foresee that this possibly would not be part of the next land use board agenda item?
No, it'll be part of it. It just won't, it's just the first step in the process.
Right.
So there'll be more interim, process. When you change the master plan, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Regardless of the topic. So this is a hot topic. It's gonna get a lot of attention.
Mhm.
But yeah, it will take it'll go through the process.
Okay, just want to make sure it's on the next one.
Yeah.
I've also actually had somebody reach out to me that's interested once it is unprohibited.
There you go.
I know we've been talking about council has to provide their opinion on the offsets or the setbacks, as we've been calling them. I mean, we've been talking about this at every meeting discussing setbacks. I mean, should we kind of be like, by the end of the month, send everybody's suggestions to setbacks to Ron, just so we can actually get it done? Maybe, and they can get the thoughts together. I just don't want to keep saying, we need this, we need this, we need this, and then we're not doing it. So I just don't want it to get hung up over that. I don't know what the council's consensus. Are you guys?
Did you receive any kickback from the council regarding the offsets and everything?
No.
None.
No, the only thing we've submitted is the draft by the engineer Rusky and the plan design to revise the master plan. And all those objectives that he built into that, that's the only thing that's going on the agenda for now. If there's other attributes you want, again,
I think you have done a lot of work on this, so maybe if you could recommend to us what the setbacks are on certain locations and stuff, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought my impression was we were gonna discuss it kind of in public as part of a council meeting under the old business about what we were looking at, the setbacks for. And then kind of as a council, give that to John. That's what I was under the impression of. I mean,
So let's do it.
right.
Well, you can do that, or you can give your setbacks to Ron and your other comments to Ron so he can compile everything. If that's what you wanted to do, or we can have.
Well, the next one is May 19th, right? The
Yeah.
latest?
And then our
And
next
the
meeting is not till
13th.
June.
No, or meeting is the
Well, no.
13th.
Yeah, the 13th is our next regular meeting.
Yes.
So by the next,
If we could hash it out by 13 and then give them the
Yeah,
information on 19th.
there you go.
I think there's more to it than just setback.
It is, there's fees, there's setbacks, there's a lot of moving parts on this, so.
Right.
And we'll get a better direction on that once we have the first meeting of the land use.
Do we have to know the fees before John?
no.
No, not yet.
Oh, the licensing fees, the setbacks
Yeah.
and all amounts due, the schedule, or
Right.
the schedule, that looks like it, that he asked for in the draft. Those are the three things that he,
Circulate your thoughts to me before the 13th.
Sure.
And I'll combine them, and if there's any common thread, then that makes that easier.
Would it be easier if we sent all of our consolidated thoughts to Jen and then Jen sent it to you? This way we're not hammering your inbox.
Yes, that'd be a great idea.
Okay, Jen, you mind doing that?
nope, not at all.
Okay.
Before the meeting then, before May 13th?
Yeah.
Actually, when's the land use meeting?
Not till the 19th.
19th.
Then this way, at least we could have it on the agenda for them for the 19th. And have like a, right. I'll send out an email just reminding the three what we need. Sound good?
Yep. Okay, moving on to work session transparency.
My favorite part. So I know we've been going back and forth with this the last, like, a little bit over a month ago. When we were talking about transparency or work session, and the confusion is adding a work session that's being, presented on the live cam was not the intent. It was to add it into our regular council meeting. So I think me and Rachel had a discussion back and forth before she called me like I use crack, whatever, because we're passionate when we speak the same day. Yeah, no, but I took it as a joke. I didn't think we're very passionate when we speak.
Yeah.
So it was a matter of the interpretation of her version versus mine. And we all want to be transparent, obviously. We all want to be honest up here. So it's not like we're not hiding anything. So I think just going forward to make it simple and easier for everybody, anything that we discuss up here, it's going to be included in the mayor and council session. So we don't have to add any workload to or any added, meetings. That includes our staff, that includes, another $400, whatever that it is. I mean, it's $400. So that was the idea, it's just got, like everybody knows when Facebook takes something off and just takes off like a wildfire. So I just want to clear that up.
So the recommendation is we'll do the work sessions in tandem with the council meetings. We don't have to incur the additional expense, and there's no lack or perception of a lack of transparency. So
Yes.
I think that's a good idea.
So everything it will be included on or stuffed into our mayor and council.
So if it's available to the public in person, it'll be available online as well.
Well, they already are now. It's just, it was just the verbiage of work session rather than the mayor council is. So we're going to just add anything and everything, like any kind of discussion into mayor and council meeting.
Cool.
Going forward.
Thank you.
Moving on to new business, the fire companies and consolidation.
Yes, I'll talk about that a little bit. I wanted to take the council's temperature in terms of considering taking the 3 fire companies and consolidating them into 2. I think we need to talk about that a bit and potentially put together a go forward strategy. We do have 3 firehouses, and we are somewhat challenged with being able to have the number of volunteers that we want in each firehouse. So maybe it starts to make sense as long as from a fire protection perspective, it does not in a way negatively affect our ability to be able to respond to emergencies and fires. But look at consolidating them. There is obviously reduced costs. There are benefits by being able to reuse the building for other things that we potentially need more space for. There may be some ability to sell duplicate equipment that we don't need as a result and bring some dollars into the town. So I really wanted to get everybody's temperature, in terms of the desire to do that. I think it's very much worth looking at and evaluating. Look to hear other people's thoughts.
Yeah, so I think couple things with this. So one, I'm not comfortable making any type of decision because there should be a conversation first within the fire departments. I mean, none of us up here except for Steve have any experience with fire, know the ins and outs. I mean, I can't sit here. So from a money standpoint, it could be a benefit, but I want to know the impact it's going to have. I want to know their opinions. I don't feel like I feel like it's a disservice and almost a slap in the face to our chiefs because they only found out about this being on the agenda like an hour prior to it being on the agenda, so I don't feel like it was handled appropriately, so I do apologize for that.
How would you
Um,
handle it?
Honestly, I would have, I guess, notified the fire chiefs first. So they didn't have to find out this was gonna be discussed at a public meeting where we have absolutely no data to see if it's beneficial or not beneficial. And I,
We're just talking about
No, no,
whether
no,
we wanna
yeah.
discuss it moving forward. We're not even at a point. I mean, I do agree that we wanna get the fire chief's input, certainly, but this is just a matter of, is this a topic that we as a council would like to talk about? Right, and do some diligence on, so.
This is the reason why we have committees. So
Right,
this should have
so
been
we-
brought to the fire committee to discuss at a fire committee meeting before it was brought to council.
I do agree. I mean, judging by, you don't want council people deciding the fate of police, fire, or any kind of emergency services out there
Yeah.
going forward, especially if they have any kind of background into it.
Right.
I do think that either financial committee and plus with the fire committee should be involved with the fire chiefs.
Mhm.
And then take it from there and then use their input and opinion. And then we could, move on from there.
I'm very
Because
good with that.
otherwise, if the councilman up here decides to do something that they have no business of, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying that.
yeah, no, I
Lay people should.
I
be
think from
making a
financial
decision.
point of view, you're talking about from financial
Exactly,
aspect.
talking about it from a financial perspective and, I do
Yeah.
agree, the fire committee should potentially take that forward.
Yeah, I agree with Anthony. So this is something that I've always had in the back of my mind. I've lived here my entire life. I didn't even know that there was a fire station kind of right where I live on DuPont.
Well, you should drive around a little bit more.
I know, instead of just going right to work, right? But I think, and we could talk ad nauseum to how it was done and, all these things that I don't think are appropriate right now. I think Anthony's point, right, and I think this is something that I thought about, but probably never vocalized it, and that's my fault, was I think it's prudent of us as a township to view these things, see if they're being used properly from a financial perspective, get the temperature of the audience, right? That goes to our transparency thing. What we're doing right now, we're talking about it live in front of folks who are in here and online, and get everybody's thoughts on it. I think these conversations are exactly what we want. So I do agree there. And if at the end of the day, it's not something that makes sense, at least we kicked the tires on it and said we did our due diligence and our homework on it. And if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. Now, if it does make sense, and we can utilize those spaces for either real estate, or I know I've been clamoring for a rec building. We could repurpose those for other institutions within the town and still be able to service the community from a safety perspective. I think that's what our responsibility and jobs are up here. So I think I'm glad that Anthony, you introduced this. I think this is something that we always want to make sure that we do our homework or due diligence on, talk to people, get their temperatures on it, and have open discussion, have open dialogue about it, because that's what it's all about. So I think this is something definitely worth looking into. I don't think anybody's rushing to judgment making decisions, saying that we don't appreciate the services of our volunteers, and we're not certainly up here trying to insult anybody. But I think it's prudent of us to at least do our homework on it, and that goes for every service in town, not just fire and police, but every service in town, to make sure we're utilizing the facilities the right way. And if not, if we could repurpose that for, like I said, a rec center for the kids, for them to go and be able to participate in things, and not just one idea, but real estate, anything to bring additional revenue in town. If we could do it, it's certainly worth looking into.
So I think the other thing with this, though, is I will ask the fire committee, myself and Steve, not be excluded from any further correspondence that goes out to the chiefs in relation to the fire departments. Anything that we should be on, we should be copied on, so we're getting the same information.
There's no correspondence that went out.
No, there was an email to the chiefs that Steve and I were left off of.
Friday afternoon or Friday morning,
The email that went to the chiefs.
the chiefs, because I got a phone call like within 30 seconds that went out.
Okay.
But I
News to
think
me.
it needs to.
Same.
I think it needs to go through proper channels and then, have a discussion.
So really, it's, do we want to proceed ahead? And if we do, do we want to proceed ahead with the discussion? And if we do, what's the next step? And maybe we just pass it to the fire committee, we'll keep it on old business and we'll discuss, we'll talk about where it's
I
going.
would recommend Ron and the fire finance committee get in touch with the chiefs. They're easy reachable, and then have a meeting with them. And, you know, then I guess once you guys, you know, view it from the financial aspect of it, then the fire committee could meet up afterwards. And with Ron administrator, so, and then we'll go from there, and then we'll bring back as a report or something.
Yeah, I think in parallel, right? I think anytime you try and consolidate things, as we tried to do this when I was on school, right, would be a feasibility study, right? I'm sure there has to be a feasibility study that needs to be conducted, whether that's internally or whether that's through a third party, to make sure that this is something that we could even accommodate, right? So I think that's probably, if we do progress with it, I think that's probably the next thing to do in parallel with the conversations with the folks.
I think have a first conversation first before you know, because the feasibility studies, I know everyone that we had before, we never really follow up on it, but besides spend money on it.
Mhm.
So, you know, the paperwork means nothing, but I would, you know.
But I guess my
discussion,
point is, right, like, if I'm going to the folks that are involved in the fire department, I'm gonna say, absolutely not, right? Like, there's nothing that you're backing this evidence up with to say, like, this is valid, right? It almost feels like an attack on those folks, right? But if I come to you with a feasibility study and say, hey, this is what we found out, this is how we could better service the community and better assess the space and service the space, think about it and, you know, try and look at it with an open mind.
Well,
I mean, even though we've done these before and we've never finished, let's not do that approach this time. Let's finish them, is I guess what I'm saying.
to me, like, we're all taxpayers, right? Everybody that's in this room is taxpayer, right? I am, everybody else is. So it benefits us to be, you know, whatever the best operational we can be,
Mhm.
right? I would start the conversation first and see where, I know these guys for a very long time. They're not unreasonable.
I'm not saying that,
taxpayer,
yeah, no, I'm not
they
saying that.
volunteered, they all vented into the town like everybody else. And, you know, they're committed.
Yeah.
So start conversation first and then, you know, take it from there.
But I know last year, part of last year's budget, we did discuss an audit being performed by a third party company to come in from like top to bottom to get just an inventory of what's in-house. I don't know what the status of that is. I don't know if quotes were received or what the case may be, but that was the only discussion in terms of firehouse stuff. Like that was the only discussion that was ever had, was just auditing what was in the houses, period.
Is that different than a feasibility study?
Yes.
I know that there was one very informally completed back in 2020, 2021. It was very informally, and it was basically like,
No, I think the last one was done like at 12.
no, not
Was that
a,
Mike Rahal? I
not a
think it was
full audit. I mean, an audit that was, the chiefs were kind of on board with someone going through and saying, hey, listen, we have too much apparatus. We have one too many buildings. And what came out of the audit that was done by an internal employee was not
I don't
really
think you ever
beneficial
have
to the
too much
borough.
apparatus. I think the question becomes now, it's how expensive they are.
Yes, right, yes.
You know,
But I
they're
think-
ridiculously expensive. The truck that's coming in right now as a replacement, it's 40 years old in service. We're finally getting around to replacing that. The truck is $1 million, where 12 years ago, if we would have replaced it when the 30-year cycle came around, it was $250,000.
Right.
And I think the ladder truck, I think it's in line to get replaced in a few years. Right now, you're looking at minimum $2 million. And by the time it gets ordered and stuff, it's probably gonna be $2.5, $3 million.
I think.
So the prices are ridiculous.
Right, but I think to what, I think that an audit would maybe be, I think we probably should do a comparison, what would be
Yeah, why don't we do
more
that?
cost effective.
Why don't we do that in parallel? Why don't we have the conversations right in-house and then start maybe an independent audit?
Well, we have to look at the financial aspect of it and see what, if any, what savings there potentially would be, and we can't do that without the fire chiefs, obviously, right? So we need to do that, and in addition, we need to do an impact study to make sure it doesn't negatively impact the community. The only thing is, I would say, let's get the finance committee and the fire committee together to work on this, but then we're gonna have a quorum, and that, we can't do that either. So I'm not quite sure what the best way is to approach it.
So I'm gonna make the suggestion that what we do is we have the chiefs meet with Ron and have a conversation with Ron about, what's going on. Ron can ask the questions about what's going in the houses, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. The last thing we want to do is insult our chiefs or our fire department or any of our volunteer emergency services, because we certainly love and need all of those services, but it doesn't hurt to hear the other side. I had a conversation with the fire chief, and I had said to him, I'd like you to come to the meeting to just hear the discussion that's going to happen amongst the council. But, if you were asked a question, I said, please don't respond, because you're responding without really having the time to prepare an answer. You really should be given the opportunity to prepare questions and talk directly to the council, the finance committee that you're going to talk to, the fire committee, whoever it is that they're going to talk to. But they would probably be better served just having a conversation with Ron, so we can, hear what's coming up from there. And then move along to where we could have a conversation. Again, a feasibility study is going to cost money. And even if we just do an audit, that again is also going to cost us money. But the best people that know about the firehouses are the firemen. So they can tell us. I mean, I know that there's been a repair at number 3 that we just have never really gotten to. I don't know what that would cost today, but that's something that should be told to Ron, so he's aware of what's happening and where it's happening. Again, we can't decide what's happening there, and we can't just make a decision whether or not we need to close a firehouse, not close a firehouse. That's going to come directly from those people that are involved. And I agree with you, Joe, that, it can be something that works good for finances. But I do believe that there's good money that you can save, and then there's bad money that you can save. So we have to make the decision on whether or not, the good money that we could save is going to be a bad decision for the borough moving forward. So I think we have to look at all of the pieces, and I really think the best place to start is the chiefs having a conversation with Ron before we do anything else.
Good with that.
I'm good with that too.
Okay.
You good with that, Ron?
Oh.
All right.
It's interesting that I would like to make a comment about the whole process, so the public can get an understanding. This is one topic, just one topic that's been presented to this council tonight. And how much conversation went on amongst all the council people. It compounds 1,000 times during a week of all the different issues that go on in this borough. We are a very busy borough. People think we're a small town. We're small by geographics, but we're not small by how busy we are. And I can tell you, these conversations go on, not with all the council members, obviously, but individually, like lightning bolts. It goes through 1,000 times more than what you saw here on the dais tonight.
Good point.
Okay.
But yet you were on vacation last week.
Yeah. And God knows I felt that on
No deception.
Moving on to May 9th, the reenactment, under the advisement of the attorney, he has asked that we make May 9th's reenactment a council meeting, because there'll be a majority of council members there, so that there's never a question in the future. The clerk has already advertised it. I'm just looking for a motion, a second, and a vote to make the 9th a council meeting.
So made.
Second.
Discussion. Do we have to dress like 1900s or?
No, you do not.
I'm coming in my 80s dress then. No, I'm not even joking. I'm dressing up.
Big dress.
Bring up something unless you dress the part.
Are you definitely coming then, Rachel?
Suits.
Oh yeah, Allison I was when she invited us all.
Okay. She only had said that Jen was coming. That's okay. Roll call?
Mr. Bongiovanni,
Yes.
Mr. Falcone.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Kuzic, Ms. Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Taylor.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to public comment. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
My apologies, Mayor. I wanted, per my committee report, I wanted to briefly just bring up to the council. Franklin right now has an ordinance in their code book. And I feel like not just this councils in future, I think this would be beneficial. As we saw the discussion just for the fire consolidation, it really kind of helps us all get on the same page. So Franklin has an ordinance in their code book for the council members to create their council committees for future years. So I'm waiting on getting a copy of that. I probably could just actually look it on their website, but So what would happen is we wouldn't see kind of what we saw this year where several council members are stacked with committees. It would kind of be like an even spread. And then the councils would have the discussion as, hey, what do you want to be on? Hey, what do you want to be on? And then we just avoid what kind of took place at the beginning of this year. So Franklin says it's been working absolutely great for them. The council people love it because they're not put on committees that they don't want anything to be part of. And they discuss it at kind of at the end of the year, and then they move forward with that. And then the other part of that is council people give their reports for the committees that they represent. So I just wanted to, I guess the phrase is take the temperature. If we can add this, as a discussion item for the next agenda, I think that would be appreciated. So you guys can have some time. And then when I get the code from Franklin, I will send it to Ron, and Shauna, and ask them if they could please share that with the rest of council. So
Do you expect to get that before the next council meeting?
yes. If I had it already, I would have already asked for it to be circulated, but I didn't have it yet.
No issues for me.
Okay.
We need to make a motion to like formalize it being on the next agenda, Mr. Lavery, or will that just?
You can if you want, but I mean, if everybody's in agreement, you just got it on the agenda.
Right, Jonathan, good, next agenda?
New
Okay.
business, right?
Sure, please, thank you.
Very good.
Next, again, moving on to public comment. Can I have a motion and a second for public comment?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? The meeting is open to the public for anything and everything that's on the agenda or off the agenda. Pete?
Pete Breckling, as to the comments on the of our town cleanup. If somebody decides that they want to, they see as they're walking around and see a lot of garbage and all that, and they pick it up, and they just put it in the garbage if it's non-recyclable, and then have a bag that maybe they can do recycling with.
But the recycling can go to a recycling center.
Yeah.
But the regular garbage, Marie's
Go
gonna
into the
check
garbage.
it. Marie's gonna check and see if the dumpster's filled by DPW.
Right.
They can just bring it there and throw it in if the dumpster.
Or can we just throw it in our own garbage and then?
Well, you
fill it?
could.
That too.
You
You can
could
do that too. Okay.
Yep.
All right, very good. Just wanted to double
Thank
check.
you, Pete. Anyone else?
My name is Cash Saladino. I just want to clarify, because I might have missed it, the resolution for the ICE facility, did you guys table that for the day?
Yes, it was tabled.
Meaning you'll vote on it next meeting, or,
It'll be possibly put on a future agenda, yes.
okay. I do want to take the time to urge all of you to oppose it completely and entirely. It's an abuse of human rights, we know that for a fact. But even if you can't find, if you're not motivated by compassion for anybody, that's okay, because even selfishly, right, it's just a waste of our money. Our money should be going to the fire department or to the police department or to us. So I do urge all of you to oppose it completely and entirely. So thank
I'm
you.
sorry, did you say your first name was Cass?
CAS, yep. You want me to spell the last name too?
Sure,
SALADINO.
thank you.
Thank you.
Michael Gervis, 48th House Trail. So wait a second. So we're indefinitely, because we're not having a definite revisiting. Can we put, forgive me, I'm not using the right words. When will we address the ICE facility?
It's been pulled for other information. They were looking for other information. That's why it was pulled. So
So just as we do all these other things, we have follow-up. You're gonna call you're gonna email that person. Can we put something on the table saying this date, so-and-so is gonna address it, or this date, we will all address it? Is there something prohibiting that?
no, it's just we don't have the ability to just say we're putting something on the next agenda. If somebody hasn't gotten the information that they want before the next meeting, we can't say we're putting it on the agenda because then it might not end up there. We might not be able to do it again. So it's easier to table till we have the ability to put it back on.
Okay, I'll
That's
just,
the best answer, right?
Yeah, I mean, it could potentially be on the next meeting. So if the questions get answered that the council people have, then it very could be on the 13th agenda. If it gets added to the agenda, I don't know.
has the issues been transparent about what what those issues are? Have they been quantified? So
I don't know what the
say,
issue- I don't-
this is holding us up or that is holding us up.
I don't know the issue.
Okay, can we speak to them publicly?
Somebody wants to, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was unsure why it was on the agenda because we have not been provided with any information to discuss. So my comment to that would have been like, I'm not comfortable, as I said, I'm not comfortable making a vote on something where we've had no input from our professionals. So why it ended up on the agenda. I know, obviously, if you've been here for the meetings, people have been asking for it to be on the agenda. Why it's been put on prematurely without the data to discuss it, that I'm not aware of.
And that's what I think. I'm uninformed in that sense. So to just see it there and have it be pushed in a sense, right?
Mhm.
Without the details, the granular as to why it's being pushed, that's.
It might have gotten on a little too early. It's
Okay.
possible it could have
That's
gotten
fair.
on a little too early without
Okay.
having all of the information impacted from council members, and it could just also be that it'll end up on the next agenda, just like the attorney said.
Fair enough. And I second everything the gentleman just shared earlier. And if I may, I'm sorry, my time was a little bit interrupted with back and forth. It's a little disheartening hearing that we may be losing or repurposing a fire department when our taxes just increased dramatically. And I feel that there was not, pardon me, there was not enough time put into really scrutinizing all the fine details. I appreciate everything you did. I appreciate everything all that you did. I was here for some of it. But I feel like there should have been a little bit more time put into where we could have saved more. So it's just perception, but to hear that in this meeting, that's a little hard to swallow. So thank you for your time.
Q Williams, 21815. So I basically saw that the ICE facility was removed from the agenda. You moved it to wherever, but I just want to read what it says on part of the agenda, right? Or the resolution. It says here, whereas the Borough of Hopatcong stands in solidarity with the Township of Roxbury in opposing the proposed facility, right? So I think that at the end of the day, whatever questions anybody has or anything that they want to research or look up, this is just a resolution. It doesn't take away any money. It doesn't bring any money. It basically stands that we stand with our other surrounding areas with opposing this facility being put here or there or anywhere affecting any of our residents, whether it be the water or the sewer or whatever repercussions come from it, right? We don't want it here, just like Roxbury doesn't want it there. So I don't see the harm in any of you guys just voting for the resolution that really is just saying, we don't want it here. It's not coming here. So what's the harm in just saying, no, we don't want it here? Because that's basically what it is
Well,
at the end of the day. And I'm not finished. So the second thing is, I was very good friends with Henry and Jesse Ialfredo. To hear that somebody, I don't know who asked for this. I don't think anybody asked for this. But to think that you're going to be closing down one of these firehouses where these guys, they put their lives, I've seen them work so hard and put their lives on the line. They're good friends of mine, right? That is literally, especially knowing that you've taken all of our resources, we're losing resources in this town, right? We can't even get leaf cleanup, which I've been begging for years. And now you want to close down one of our firehouses or merge it with whatever. And like Marie said, it's going to cost money to do these assessments or calculations or evaluations or studies. And that's more tax dollars. If you just increased our tax dollars tremendously, 9% or whatever it's going to be, 6%, who cares? It's going up, right? Whoever thought of this is like got to be the stupidest person on the planet to do that right now. So I just want to say that. And I'm done. The resolution is basically saying no. We ain't gonna have it here anyway, right? So just say no. It's just that simple.
Anyone to vote? Wish to speak? Not seeing anything. Motion to bring it back.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The only comment that I have for everybody is I do want to wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. That is this weekend. And we will see you next week on the 13th. Remember, our meeting has changed. For everybody that's here for fire, I know that Ron will reach out to you probably between tomorrow and Friday to set something up so you can start that conversation. So it's not going to linger. Were we done with that?
No.
Okay. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
Mayor, before you- I don't know, is Dave here? Can you remind us the? can somebody
Dave Harris.
That for
No.
next week.
He's not here, I know.
If it shows up the week after.
Yep.
I'm gonna be scared.
He's gonna, yeah, he's gonna be upset. We don't notify
Somebody,
him.
you know, whoever has contact with him, please let him know. It's next Wednesday.
Just make sure it's on the sign.
Good
Side.
That too.
Good
make
point.
it.
Okay,
Got it.
good point. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions?